Star. Let's get people started to write programs so we can find out what's missing and what's important. So what do we want? We want code. We want people to sit down, start using Perl 6, write programs. Because that's where we find out where the bugs are. We want people to write articles. What is it that you did? What worked? What didn't work? Most of the articles that we're seeing over the last couple of weeks have been, hey, Perl 6 is really cool. To which we say, yeah, we know that. That's why we've been working on it for 2 years. So articles, talk and tell other people about what you found out. Whether it's good or bad, just talk about it. That's what we would like to know. We need more tests. We need more documentation. We need more tools to be able to put things in it. And we need help in defining what the best practices are. Perl 6, if you came to the discussion earlier today, right? And he asked whether Perl 6 is the same language as Perl 5 or not. Well, I had a big 0 in here because it's very, very different in terms of the way that you think about many of the solutions. And so there's room for new best practices to be put together. Where to start? If you're interested in Perl 6, Perl6.org is the central place to go. Anything that you want to know about Perl 6, that's generally the place to start. If it's not there, then you can ask somebody to add it. And if you ask somebody to add something to Perl6.org, you will be presented with a fresh, shiny commit bit where you can go add it yourself. It's very, very open, in keeping with the PUG's philosophy of open access. If you're interested specifically in things going on with Rakudo, you can go to Rakudo.org. There are a lot of very nice Perl 6 talks coming up at this conference, and so go see those, and you can learn about a lot of new features, including DBI interfaces, database access, cool Perl 6 examples. There's a tutorial on Saturday that Laura is giving to teach Perl 6, so you can sign up for that. I understand there's still lots of space there. So there's plenty of room to learn about Rakudo and Rakudo Star. It's time to write some Perl 6. We've been waiting for a long time. Let's do it. Please tell us what works. Please tell us what doesn't work. And most of all, have the appropriate amount of fun. Because that's what we like to emphasize in the Perl 6 community. So just in summary, Rakudo Star's out. It's out there. Please go use it. And I'll be glad to take questions. Are there any questions? Yes, that tends to be our goal, is to put as much in the Perl 6 as we can. That makes it easier to retarget when we go to retarget other documents. It's already written in Perl 6. And it turns out Perl 6 happens to be a very good language for writing compilers. I don't know how that happened, but it did. Yes? It is evolving also. So the question is, Rakudo is evolving a lot. What about the Perl 6 language? And Perl 6 is evolving as well. And the reason is, it is not evolving because there are a lot of us sitting around going, wouldn't it be nice if Perl 6 would do this? There are a lot of us sitting around to do that, but that's not why we evolved.
You ignore those people.
Yeah, we ignore those people. Yes, Carl?
You mentioned that there's no official compiler, Perl 6 compiler, but I heard there's a project called Yaxi, which is supposed to be official.
Okay, well, I'll bring that up in a second. So the language continues to evolve, and the reason is because as people are writing Perl 6 programs, we're discovering places where the specification doesn't work. Something is just not right about it. In some cases, it's self-contradictory, and so we have to resolve the contradiction, and that requires changing the spec. So the specification continues to change because of the needs of the implementations of Perl 6 and the applications being written with it. And I don't expect that to stop anytime soon. The parts that we implement today are relatively not, they shouldn't change a lot. We're pretty comfortable with those. Some of the things we don't implement yet, for example, Synopsys 9, which is a lot of the data structures and compact structures and things like that. I expect that has a lot of room for change because There's a classic line that says, no battle plan survives contact with the enemy. It turns out no synopsis survives contact with applications or implementations. So that's probably it. Any other questions? Anyone else have like one? Yes?
You already have a quite impressive test suite. Do you try to put together a benchmark suite?
So the question is, are we trying to put together a benchmark suite? And the answer is yes. That's one of the things we identified. We would love for people to help us write benchmarks. So good benchmarks for us right now are things that are slow and ought to be fast. Then we can start analyzing them and find out why they are not. For example, the thing that is ungodly slow at the moment is what Larry demonstrated earlier today, which is the series operator. Just counting from 1 to 10,000 takes an awful amount of time right now in Rakudo. At least it does in Rakudo Star. We fixed it after the Rakudo Star release, so the next release should be much faster, but we need to make that faster still. And there's a lot of reasons why it's slow that have to do with underlying design principles that we've resolved and really make it much faster. But yes, we would like to make a benchmark suite. Where that should go, we'll probably put it in the Pubs repository somewhere. That way we share it on all the implementations. Or either that or we'll create a separate repository for it. And then, so Carl has an official Perl 6 compiler called Yapsi.
Yeah, is it more efficient?
Is it more efficient than Rakudo? Well, since Rakudo is not official, and you claim that yours is, it must be more official. But it's not better. So, any other questions? I think it's meant more as a joke than as or it's too much not as official. Carl, can you explain that in this talk? Do you have a talk about Yapsi?
Maybe
A lightning talk would be good. He can explain it in this light. Any others? Again, thank you very much. We'll be around for the entire conference. Ask any of the Rakudo people or myself if you have any more questions. Thanks.